they're doing this correctly. But let's take a look. Let's just take off and just talk about this. So I've got notice of right to cancel forms here for John and Jane Signer. John and Jane Signer. Jane has her 3 copies and John has his 3 copies. Okay, you can see their name at the top. So when I get these loan documents, I go through and I make sure that I have 3 apiece. They should have 3 for each signer. They're named separately, so you see Jane's name here, John's name here. And so there I have 3 for Jane, I have 3 for John. Sometimes they're named on the same document, though. So in that case, there would only be 3 documents instead of 6, right? If they're both named here on the same document. So the notice of right to cancel is an important document, and this is what I say when I get to it. So this is your notice of right to cancel. It has today's transaction date, the signing date that we're doing the signing, and you have 3 days to change your mind. You have 3 business days to change your mind. So you have until midnight on February 6th if you decide to cancel. If you did decide to cancel, you would sign here under I wish to cancel and the day's date, the date that you made that decision to do that. And you would follow these steps. You would contact them. Here's, there's an email. You would follow these steps if you did decide to cancel. Today, what you're signing is at the bottom. So, and I put sticky notes at the bottom of all 3 copies, right? So all 3 copies need to be signed and dated at the bottom. So what I'll do is I'll sign Mr. and Mrs. Signer, just give them, here, Mrs. Signer, here's your set of 3, and she's going to sign and date. And she has to sign it exactly as her name is listed, Jane A. Signer and today's date. Jane A. Signer and today's date. And the same with Mr. Signer. He's got 3 copies here. Okay, it's got today's transaction date, 3 days to change their mind. If Mr. Signer changed his mind, he would sign here under I wish to cancel and the date he made that decision, follow these steps here. Today, what they're signing, they're acknowledging that they've received their 2 copies. So there are 3 of these notice of right to cancel forms. They're going to sign and date all 3 copies. 2 of these, you're going to leave behind, 2 signed copies, you're going to leave behind with Mr. and Mrs. Signer, okay? They're going to sign it and date it, hand it back to you. You check to make sure it looks good. And then you're going to return 2 signed copies, they pretend that they've signed. You're going to return this with the executed loan documents, okay? So this is how to handle the notice of right to cancel when the dates are correct. But it's not a perfect world. You're probably seeing some sparkles there. That is actually inside the camera itself. I got into a car accident, and what you're seeing are little glass fragments inside. So if I put my arm there, see the sparkles are still there. So I figured that out. That's what it was. I was in a car accident in October. And so what you're seeing are glass fragments. So what happens then if the date is wrong, right? Say the date is wrong. So here we've got the notice of right to cancel forms. And let me scooch this down so you can see a little bit better. So these are the notice of right to cancel forms. And you can see here, it's got February 5th as the signing date. Well, today's the 3rd. Today's very much February 3rd, right? So if this date here is wrong, that means this date is wrong, right? And it's got to be corrected. The same with this date down here. It says that date of notice of right to cancel form received February 5th, 2021. Well, typically when you get these in, it's the wrong date. These are dates that are in the past. So I just created this as an example. If the dates are wrong, you're going to need to instruct the signers to make those date corrections. So the date up here is the date we're signing. Today is February 3rd. They have 3 business days, excluding federal holidays. They've got 3 business days, excluding federal holidays, excluding Sundays, to change their mind. So 3 business days. And I'll show you how to calculate that in a second. Here's how you're going to instruct them to make the correction on all 3 copies, on all 3 copies of the notice of right to cancel. Okay, just scoot this over a little bit so you can see both. So a single line through, don't have them scribble it out. It's a single line through. And then Mrs. Signer is writing February 3rd, 2021, and then her initials. Okay, the rescission date is 3 days from today, so it's Saturday. So she has until midnight, Saturday, February 6th. So you're instructing her, you figure out the rescission date, and then you tell her what date to write in here. So it's February 6th, 2021, and then her initials. She's going to sign down here. Oh, then this one too, February 3rd is the date she's receiving it. And then her initials. She signs and she dates today's date. On all 3 copies, she's going to do that. And the same with Mr. Signer. The same with Mr. Signer. So he's going to correct the date up here, a single line through, the correct date. Today is February 3rd, 2021. And then his initials, JQS. The rescission date, the date that he has until midnight on February 6th. So single line through, he handwrites February 6th, 2021, nice and legibly. Ask them to slow down, write the dates, the numbers nice and legibly, and then his initials. And then same down here, a single line through, the wrong date, February 3rd, and his initials. And then he signs any date, say his signature, John Q. Signer, and today's date. All right, and he's going to do that to all 3 copies. So that's how you make a correction to the notice of right to cancel. It's really common that when you get your loan documents, a signing that should have happened like the day before or a couple days before, you by the time you get the loan package, and if things aren't ready or if it has to be rescheduled for whatever reason, it comes to you now, and now you're receiving documents and it's got the wrong date, and it's super common. Don't freak out. Just know that you're going to need to make those corrections. And we're going to switch over here. We're going to go online. Let's see. We're going to go, we're just going to open up a new browser. So I'm just going to do, it's already there, Rescission Calendar 2021, okay? National Notary Association, they have, I've got a membership there. So they have a great rescission calendar and it shows you how to use it. So I'm going to jump to this date. So today's February 3rd, right? So this one is very easy to understand. So if today's February 3rd, rescission date ends February 6th. So that's this date here. And where it comes into play, where you really have to pay attention to rescission dates is like if you're doing a signing on a Friday or on a Saturday, or even on a Thursday, because there's 3. So say you're doing a signing on February 3rd, or February 4th. Say you're doing a signing here. Well, rescission date's on the 8th. That's this date. That's because Friday counts as one day, Saturday counts as one day, Sunday does not count, and here, so here's the 3rd day if you're doing the signing on the 4th. And so take a look at these calendars. If this one doesn't, there's a few versions out there. I'm going to hit the back button here if I can. Let's see. I tried to hit the back button. Let me just do a search here for I'm going to do another search for Rescission Calendar 2021. Okay, so Chicago Title is another good example. They have a different type. You're going to see many different types of rescission calendars out there. So this is Chicago Title's version of their rescission calendar, and it's just one page. So understanding this type may be more of a challenge. So if how you look at it is this: if the signing date is, here's the month of February right here. Today's the 3rd, so the rescission date would be the 6th. And so that's how you would read that. And, so here, if you're doing the rescission on the 13th of February, if you're doing the signing is taking place on the 13th of February, the 18th is the rescission date. And that's probably due to some holidays in there. But there's a couple different, there's just several different types of rescission calendars out there. And if you're new to this, it really is helpful to carry one of these with you so that you don't ever have to question. Hopefully you're looking through the loan documents ahead of time at home and you get this figured out at home. Worst case scenario, if you're not sure, you think that rescission date is wrong, call your hiring company. I mean, they're going to expect you to know how to figure out a rescission date, but it's better to ask than to not know or to be unsure. So worst case scenario, you're going to call your hiring company.